Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi barik wa sallim wa salli alayhi. Brothers and sisters and viewers of this video, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, the topic of my speech or talk is many people they live in abroad, especially in the Western world, UK, Europe, New Zealand, Australia, America, all these countries. When winter approaches in schools, especially for little children, um, the surgery and the schools they offer jabs, flu jabs, or vaccinations, or some sort of medications, and these medicines when little children because of the defense and protection from the flu and these type of fatal diseases in Western world, these medications and medicines or injections have gelatin or anything from unlawful, like pig, swine, or alcoholic, substantials in the medicines. And many parents they ask questions whether it is permissible or not. So this is my topic of speech in the light of Quran and Sunnah. I will quote only one verse, and these verses, four verse comes in the different places of Quran in Surah An-Nahl, Surah Araf, and I am going to quote Surah Baqarah, verse number 173. Allah Almighty says, إِنَّمَا حَرَّمَ عَلَيْكُمُ الْمَيْتَةَ وَالدَّمَ وَلَحْمَ الْخِنْزِيرِ وَمَا أُهِلَّ بِهِ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ فَمَنِ اضْطُرَّ غَيْرَ بَاغٍ وَلَا عَادٍ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. The translation is the verse Surah Baqarah 173. He has made unlawful for you only the dead animals and the blood, and the flesh of swine or pig, and the animal over which, whilst sacrificing the name of someone other than Allah, has been invoked. But he who is forced by the necessity and is neither disobedient nor transgressing will not incur any sin on himself. If he eats that much which is required to survive, Allah is indeed most forgiving, ever merciful. You can see the translation of this verse yourself. So Allah Almighty made exceptions. Pig is haram. Ahram. Innama harrama. In the text, it is stated, it is haram. Dead animal is haram. Blood is haram. All while sacrificing, olden times before Islam, people they used to sacrifice animals on the name of idols. So if sacrificing time for the name of idols, for the sake of idols, if sacrifice other than Allah, that is also haram. But Quran said, "Famanitturra ghayra bagin," in forceful situation, very special circumstances. If there is no alternative for the sake of saving the life, if life is at stake, then if someone is not disobedient, not only is a God fearing, just for the sake of life, for the saving of the life, is you if he uses these four unlawful substantials which is Quran mentioned, they are the exceptions. It means if circumstances are different and there is no any legal thing or lawful things to save the life, then it is permissible these use of these substantial for the sake of life if someone saved the life. So, two, three hadiths I can mention here. Imam Bukhari narrates Hazrat Anas bin Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He says from a tribe of Akal or Arena, some people they came in Medina, so the environment of Medina was not suitable for them, and they got a special disease. And then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam instructed them they can have the camel's milk and the urine of the camel. And as they drank urine of the camel and milk, and they it was cured, excuse me, and they became well. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam permitted them. So it means there were the special circumstances. In special circumstances, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam permitted them to drink the urine of camel too. And this hadith Imam Bukhari narrates from the eight chants, and many other muhaddisin and great scholars they mentioned the hadith as well. Another hadith Imam Bukhari he has mentioned. Hazrat Anas bin Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf and Hazrat Zubair radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. These are the very honorable, respected, and very honorable companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They got a disease. They were itching, and Prophet ﷺ permitted them, they can wear the silk. So because of medication, because silk is in normal circumstances, it is haram, unlawful, illegal in Islam for the men. So Prophet ﷺ permitted them in special circumstances, they can wear the silk as well. Another hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, Sunan Abu Dawud Sharif, these are the Sihasita hadith. Abdul Rahman bin Tarfa narrates from the Prophet ﷺ, once upon a time, his grandfather, his nose was cut in a battlefield, and he put a silver nose. So that didn't work. Then Prophet ﷺ permitted him the use the nose of made of gold. So gold usually in normal circumstances for men it is haram, illegal, unlawful. But Prophet ﷺ permitted them. There are many other scholars their views as well. So this one verse I recited Surah Baqarah verse 173, Surah An'am, verse 145, Surah An-Nahl, verse 115. You can see yourself. In special circumstances, if someone is a God-fearing and known a Muslim, in special circumstances, for the sake of life, if uses these substantial, which is in text of the Quran, Allah Almighty made haram and forbidden. If in special circumstances, in exceptional circumstances, in medication, if uses that person, fala ismali, Quran says it is no sin. And many other scholars like commonly known Imam Azam Abu Hanifa, he did not permitted that. Imam Abu Yusuf Rahmatullah Ta'ala Ali, the great student of Imam Azam Abu Hanifa, and many other scholars, they allowed, if there is a need, if there is no other alternative, halal alternative, then it could be cured. Any sort of medication, whether it is injection or any sort of medication, if there is no alternative, it is permissible to cure it. Alama Nawawi Shafi'i Rahmatullah Ta'ala, he permitted as well, if there is no other alternative, so people they can use. Another Alama Ahmad Qastalani Shafi'i, he says if there is no alternative, then any haram substantial or elements are in any medicines, so in that case one is permitted to use. Alama Ibn Hajar Uskulani, he permitted as well. Alama Badruddin Aini Hanafi radiyallahu rahmatullah ta'ala he says as well, we should avoid and refrain to use any haram substantial as a medication. But if there is a need, necessity, exceptional circumstances, all these imams, they said one can use it. Even all majority school of thought, they say if someone is dying in a jungle or in any situation, for the sake of life, there is nothing available to save the life, then for the sake of life, for the saving of life, they can use even alcohol as well. Unanimously, I was studying many books and many quotations. Majority of scholars says, if there is no alternative conditionally, this is the only medical science says or any doctor says, and cure is certain, if there is no other any alternative, so any medication which has a substantial of illegal thing or unlawful thing like pig or gelatin, it is allowed to use that. So like I recite in front of you this verse number 173 Surah Baqarah, and other verses too, and these three hadiths I have mentioned, and these scholars I have taken their names, all these they permitted. But however, as a Muslim, if there is a halal choice, if there is a halal medication, halal medicines, and there is a haram medicines, so of course we should go towards halal medicines. So this discussion arises if there are special circumstances, medical science or a specialist or doctor says there is no other alternative suitable to vegetarian or any medication which is halal, so the haram medication with haram substances are used, any sort of these according to Quran and Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, I have mentioned in this my talk, then one is allowed to use the whether it is a flu jab or a nasal spray or any sort of medications, it is allowed. فَمَنِ اضْطُرَّ غَيْرَ بَاغٍ وَلَا عَادٍ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ, there is no sin in special circumstances. When circumstances changes, the ruling changes as well. So may Allah Almighty accept our prayers, and may Allah Almighty save and protect us from all sorts of diseases, and may Allah Almighty give us a true understanding of Islam. وما علينا إلا البلاغ. جزاك الله خير.